Hello, good morning. It is Saturday, 6/6. Happy June 6th. This is your energy for the week starting tomorrow, the 7th, through next Saturday, the 13th. Very quickly, I wanted to ask if anybody else did, in fact, experience some sort of like hitch in your giddy up from Sunday into Monday. That was when my really bizarre glitch in the Matrix happened. Walter's joining today. It's been a few weeks since he was part of the video. So, if I recall, I didn't go back and look. If I recall, I had said something about feeling like pressed down or suppressed through the energy for the week. That felt true for me in a lot of like mundane ways, work-related ways. Things felt like very icky, squishy pressure. I even had many people talking about or seeing comments about like really heavy pressure headaches and things of that nature. So I feel like the energy was suppressive in some way for sure. In meditation this morning for this week's energy, the first thing that came up was almost like I couldn't see the first half of the week. Like it was like clouded or foggy or blurry. Like it was hidden from view in some way. I'm going to have to ask my astrologer friend, Susie Evolutionary, if there's something going on with Neptune that I'm not aware of, because that's like the foggy planet. But it was just, it felt very, and when I say see, I want to kind of explain too, my clairvoyance is by far not my strongest ability. When I see things, sometimes I will in fact get a very like brief or abstract like visual, but it's usually a claircognizant like understanding knowledge of something that like does in fact take almost like a visual form. But this literally seemed as though like the first part of the week was just like missing all the way up until like at least good Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Like I just couldn't get a good view of any of it. All right, we brought Walter over. The second thing was, can't say 100% this is this week, but something coming up soon. It felt like the airlines would be in the news again. I didn't get a sense about in what respect, except for it had a feeling of being very, very purposefully for distraction. And I actually get really irritated when people are like, this news story is all a distraction. Like, because I feel like we can multitask. We can focus on more than one thing at once, you know, like I kind of just, I don't fall in line with that idea all that frequently, but it felt very like purposefully thrust in front of us about some thing around the airlines, as if we couldn't pay attention to whatever else was going on and whatever other nonsense was happening. So I feel like there's something coming up, and I don't think it has anything to do with like hantavirus or Ebola or, you know, like screening passengers, or it felt different from that in terms of airline news. That was really all I received in the energy for this week. The only other thing that happened was that I did kind of ask, like, just very blanket, what can I know about this ridiculous match on the front lawn of the you-know-what place that's, I believe, supposed to happen on Sunday, I think. And I don't really know what to make of this. Instead, I saw, in my way of seeing, a juggling act and then a magician. And I have to say that this has to be figurative or symbolic in some way, because like I can't imagine that we're watching that instead of a fight. Like that makes no sense. But it presented to me as if we were actually watching this instead, but like that can't possibly be true. Now Dante's going to join the party here. Now this is how he says he wants to go potty, so I'm going to finish up. That's what showed up instead. And I have to admit, like, I don't actually get a direct sense that fight is not happening, or that we aren't having fights occur. But for some reason, those are the symbols that came up. So I'm just going to lay it out there. We'll see how it turns out. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know how last week was, if you felt that kind of pressure sensation, that suppression. If you had any weird glitches or something that happened early in the week that felt like, what the heck just happened to me? I'm interested to know. So talk soon.